What's up, guys? So I'm gonna review Young Monsters in Love. So people were saying it wasn't worth $10. This was worth $10. There's so many stories in here, and it was like so easy to read. So many cool artists. Like, I loved it. I had a great time reading this. It was just like, I like reading a comic when I could just read it quick, fast. Just keep going and reading it. I hate when I have to like sit there and focus and think about what's going on. Like, a good story should just be able to, you should just be able to understand it like the first or second time you're reading. You shouldn't have to go back and read it like 5 times. So it's an 80-page giant, and the cover is fake news, green with envy. So it's by Kelly Jones, and she's a famous Swamp Thing artist, so it's kind of cool. But Swamp Thing's basically making a cuck out of Frankenstein. So it's pretty funny. I like how he looks strong and manly, and the Bride of Frankenstein looks sexy. It's just classic comic book cover, and this is totally classic comic book cover. We were made for each other, but my bride betrayed me for Swamp Thing. So it's just kind of a funny what if scenario, but it doesn't actually happen in this book. So first you get a Man Bat story by Kyle Higgins with art by Kelly Jones. She also did the cover. And you get, I love the way she draws Batman. It almost reminded me of Batman the Cult. But he's fighting Man Bat, and he's just telling him that he's better than this and that he shouldn't be a monster for Francine, like his wife or whatever. And then the whole rest of the comic is just kind of Dr. Kirk Langstrom being haunted by the Man-Bat, like as a demon speaking to him in his head, like that only he can see. And it's really cool. It's just a really good, like, story, and it reminds you of, like, you know, how it is when someone has an addiction and they're trying to be in a relationship, and he's just really just, like, getting fed up with having to take the serum over and over, and then finally he says, I'm taking control, not for Francine, for me. And I thought that was really, really cool, like, especially because if you check out my vlogs, I'm fighting an addiction as well, so this is totally how it is. Like, this is very accurate to how it is to have an addiction or demons, per se. So the next one is Frankenstein and the Bride of Frankenstein, Agents of Shade. So it's like DC's version of the monsters. I don't know, I forget. Marvel has like something like that too. So Frankenstein, Agent of Shade, which, correct me if I'm wrong, has that not been around since like the New 52? So yeah, they're just like going on this mission, and he's writing this. He has this letter that he's going to give to her, and he's like, in the letter, he's basically confessing his love for her. And this whole time, they're like doing this really cool mission, all this cool artwork and stuff. And at the end of the mission, he's about to give her the letter, and then all of a sudden, she like finds this girl that she's in love with, and then he's just like rips up the letter, and it's really sad. So every single one of these stories is about some form of love or some form of love. So this one's Buried on Sunday. It's by Margaret Scott with Brian Hitch. So Brian Hitch has done like the Ultimates and DC's Justice League for Rebirth. But it's Superman and Lois. Superman goes to stop Grundy or something, and Superboy follows him, and then he's like beating up Grundy, or he tries to, unsuccessfully. Then Grundy like punches Superman, and Superman like freezes him, and he basically is just telling Superboy like, oh, this is like the one time of the year that we let Grundy like visit his wife's grave. It's on her birthday, so it's just Grundy really being sad about his wife dying, and Superman and Superboy spectating. So I thought that was pretty cool. Just really good art, really good story, and really good dialogue. This one is Raven, the Dead Can Dance. So it's by Colin Kelly, Jackson Lansing as the writers, and Javier Fernandez as the artist. I really liked the way they drew Raven in this. So it's basically a family calling Raven to help them get rid of this ghost in their house. And just look at how they draw Raven. I love that. It's so well done. Really kind of forgives this newer costume, because I like the classic Raven costume. This one's okay, but I like when they draw it well, you know what I'm saying? So she's confronting this ghost, and then she actually ends up falling in love with this ghost. And like the more you go throughout the book, he follows her around, and he starts to look more attractive like his former self. And they end up in the hospital, or I mean back at the high school, and they dance because I guess he died on prom night. But look at that. This is just gorgeous artwork, and she looks like a woman, and she's happy, and she's dancing, and it's like, wow, you would not see this type of heterosexuality in a Marvel comic book. So yeah, she like kind of falls in love with the ghost, and then he's gone. So this one's written by Paul Dini from Batman the Animated Series, with art by Gillian March, and it's Dead Man and Be My Valentine. So it's all about this kid that's getting bullied by other kids on Valentine's Day, and they're just like rewording cards to say mean things. And Dead Man possesses him, because that's what Dead Man can do. He like jumps into your body and possesses you, and then he basically just like does all this like ninja moves to beat up the bullies in class, and like Dead Man does it like through the little kid's body that's getting bullied. And then apparently the bully is also like getting abused by his dad or something. He's got bruises on his arm. So then the kid like goes, he like, Dead Man like leaves his body, but Dead Man left him a note in one of the Valentines, and then he reads it to himself, and it's just cool. It's a good story. So yeah, check that one out for sure. This one is Swamp Thing. So this is classic Swamp Thing. He's always, you know, always talking to a different girl and just laying the Mac down. Swamp Thing is a player, so he's always fallen in love with somebody new. I mean, he had like a one true love type thing, but I believe she passed away. So this is someone else, and yeah, he's just like, it's just really like poetic. It reminded me of Alan Moore. These people like attack, and I think they killed the girl or something, or they attack her. But then the people, yeah, they did kill her. But the people who attack Swamp Thing, he like traps them in a forest forever. Like he keeps them like trapped in the swamp forever. So he doesn't kill them, but he just like tortures them by never being able to escape the swamp. Yeah, it's called Heart-Shaped Box. So this one is Monsieur Mala and the Brain by Steve Orlando and Nick Klein. Okay, this one was super weird. So Monsieur Mala, I've seen him before, not familiar. It's like, remind me of Gorilla Grodd, but he's like more militaristic. And then the Brain, which I've definitely seen before, which is like, I guess, a scientist, but he died, so it's like only his brain. It's like infiltrating LexCorp, and then the gorilla is like telling the story of how he fell in love with the scientist guy that ends up being the Brain, and it's like super weird. Like, what? It was like so strange. So I don't know. That one was a weird story. And then yeah, like, what the heck? So this one was, I don't know, this one was whatever. It was just the Eye Vampire, which I think was something from New 52. It was okay. I don't know. He turns into a wolf, though. I don't understand that. He's a vampire, but he turns into a wolf. And then he just, like, hooks up with this girl, basically, after a monster attacks them. I don't know. It's whatever. The demon one was really cool. I like the artwork. It reminded me of Jeff Darrow, but it's Mirko Kolak with Phil Hester writing it. It's the same logo from the Demon comic book series, the recent one. So this one's just classic Demon doing his rhyming stuff while he's beating up all these guys in hell, I think. And this is Jason Blood, like the guy that Demon turns back into. And who is this to him? I think it's his sister or girlfriend. I'm not sure. Because her love for me pulled her into... Yeah, it must be his ex-girlfriend or something, but she went crazy, and she, like, killed a bunch of people. She, like, became, like, satanic. Like, I don't even know. She was just insane. And, so then he's, like, talking about how he loves her, and then he, like, goes crazy. He's, like, laughing, but also crying at the same time. And, I don't know, that you just gotta read that one. Dear Velcoro, yeah, this one was the Creature Commandos, which is, like... Isn't that just like the Monster Squad or whatever it is in Marvel? I don't know. It was good, though. It was cool. It's like the werewolf and the Frankenstein and the vampire guy. They're just all talking, like, modern talk. It was whatever, but the art was really good. I liked the art. And, yeah, so that was Young Monsters in Love. DC Comics, 80-page giant. I definitely... would recommend it. I would say it's worth the $10 if you can still get your hands on one. They're probably sold out by now. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought of this. Let me know if you had any favorites, if you hated any of them, if you thought any were weird like I did. And thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, turn the notification bell on so you know when I post. And thanks for watching.